Looks like the U.S. military, U.S. Department of Defense, been pretty busy today over there in Iraq. Operation Inherent Resolve airstrikes continue against ISIL terrorists. Looks like they struck Qaim, 2 airstrikes, destroyed 4 ISIL excavators, 2 ISIL fighting positions. They bombed near Fallujah, 3 airstrikes, destroyed 4 ISIL buildings and 3 ISIL tactical vehicles. Struck an ISIL tactical unit and a large ISIL unit. Whatever that means. Maybe it's personnel. Ramadi, airstrike struck an ISIL tactical unit. Baji, airstrike struck 2 ISIL buildings. And then they struck near Mosul. Airstrike destroyed 2 ISIL tactic vehicles and 2 ISIL checkpoints and struck an ISIL tactical unit. The strikes were conducted as part of Operation Inherent Resolve, the operation to eliminate the ISIL terrorist group and the threat they pose to Iraq, the region, and the international community. Coalition nations conducting these airstrikes were in Iraq include the United States, Australia, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Netherlands, and the United Kingdom. Coalition nations conducting airstrikes in Syria include the United States, Bahrain, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Looks like a good day today, but it's a little light work. I think they should do a lot more. Remember, in the height of the Iraq War, they were doing 800 to 1,000 airstrikes a day, probably sometimes more. And all we're doing now is 20, 30 airstrikes. I think we can do a little bit better than that and start dropping a little bit more ordnance on them and get them running towards Syria. Appreciate it. This is the U.S. Department of Defense update, DoD news. If you have any questions, just go ahead and email me. If you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead. And thank you for watching.